Nihon no tomodachi mina konnichiwa.
What is going on, everyone? Shreddawg back here for some boss coffee and a very special video. So, as you can see, we're joined by my good friend PinD here. And in honor of this, when I was at my local Japanese market restocking on my Bosu Kohi here, I noticed they had this like particular blend that I've never had before. I've never even seen it. It is the World Collection Black. Now this one's from Brazil, but I just thought, hey, since we're taking a trip from Japan today outside, why not get the World Collection for today? So I'm gonna try this out because I haven't had this one before, and we're gonna see what it is. Fantastic, that's what it is. So
I promised Ant that the next time we sat down and did a video together, I'd wear it, but this is not a bandmade video, so we'll have to work on that for next time. But I was rather happy and proud to receive that.
That is cool. That is cool.
It's one of only 4 in the world, and only 3 are in circulation because Konami got a pink one gifted to her. So
that's crazy.
Hopefully the next time we do bandmade, I'll wear that. But that was my special offering here for today in terms of just special things.
Hey, everyone's got something special today. It is a special day, though, is it not?
It is. You you may want to rename this video Story Time with PinD. So, because there's a bit of a backstory here. I'm going to read you an email that I had to write to Fremen and Gary last night at 4 a.m. It says, I have a small emergency. It says, well, it could be a big emergency if either of you is unhappy. I sure was for a spell. As you know, I pushed real hard to contact someone associated with DIH at the end of last week to get permission to use their audio. I was actually finally able to get Sena, the lead singer and guitarist's email address from Han, the band manager of Rolling Quartz. So he helped me out again. He's a great guy. I love him to death. Anyway, below is her note to me in its entirety, and I have to redact at least a couple of words from it, and you'll understand why, I guess, in a little while. But we'll go through it. It says, hello, PinD. It's just very short and sweet. Thank you for contacting me. I'm sorry for the late reply. First of all, thank you so much for showing interest in our songs and promoting them. We're preparing to re-release blank. So if possible, I'd appreciate it more if you could promote it as Breakout among our songs. In other words, they've actually got a song called Breakout, right? So it says, but if it's a bit of a hassle, it's okay. And again, she's trying to write, I think, in English. It came to me in English, right? So from that perspective, she says, I'm not good at English. Really? So I don't know if it was delivered well. Please understand if there were any rude expressions. Thank you again and have a good day. So what a sweet note, right? I could not believe, first of all, that I had enough musical taste to pick the only song from their first album that the band had chosen for re-release. My next thought was, unbelievable they would offer up their current material in its place. I mean, they just released this. It's not even a year old, right? So Breakout and Not Enough are the 2 new songs, both launched as singles since the band regrouped. However, there is a pro shot video for Breakout. It's not on the official channel and it sits at 23K. It's just mostly footage of the band playing. I emailed Sena and asked if maybe another song would be better, right? But the line went dead. 3 emails from me this week and I haven't heard anything back since Monday. So all of a sudden, I don't know if they're playing gigs or if she wanted to meet with the band and didn't have a chance to, or management told her, don't do that anymore. I have no idea what happened. I said, so after thinking, this is much like Kamarigato, like we did for Rolling Quartz, right? Rolling Quartz had an official video of the band just playing, languishing on their channel. I found out later why. It had about the same number of views. So what else could I do? Here I sit at 4 in the morning asking you guys to please have a look. I pray I used your material in a respectful way and ask you to offer suggestions or approve this revised video. I'm supposed to film tomorrow. Wait, today, because it's 4 in the morning with Shreddawg, and we'll have to reschedule it if we need changes. I said, please have a look. Let me know what you think. I feel the song itself is definitely better, and I like the new vid, but there are some aspects of the old one that I missed. I'm going to bed. So that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. The band asked me to abandon the original video that I did and do this song instead. So I was up for I don't know. Well, I think I started last night about 7 p.m. and ended at 4 a.m. So it took a while. Well, I had a bunch of material from the guys, right? I had stuff from Fremen. I had artwork from Gary that I had to incorporate. I had this song, which was incredibly difficult to construct because of all the cuts in it. And you'll see it when we get into it. But I wanted to give everybody and you a bit of the backstory of what I had to go through here to, to get this thing off the ground. This is me flying by the seat of my pants. It's not, and we started this project 2 months ago. So mid-December, right? So from that point of view, a lot of time was spent trying to put the old video together that I just kind of threw out. So just because that's what the band asked for, that's what Sena asked for. So from that point of view, I couldn't not do what she asked me to do. So anyways, they've got some covers. They've got a whole bunch of other stuff on their channel that I could have chosen from. I went through a bunch of songs last night before I actually sat down and said, okay, I'm going to do what she asked, because it actually was probably the best choice. So I still couldn't believe they offered that up.
Wow. Can I just say really quick? Wow, that's all I can say. I have nothing else to say.
Well, that's story time. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's all I got.
That is incredible. And I gotta say too, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous that you were actually able to get in contact with the vocalist, because she is fantastic.
She is.
I was so surprised. Like, I mean, okay, I gotta be like real. Like, the whole band was great. The whole package was amazing. But the vocalist, to me, just instantly, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like this. You know? So it was just that is really, really cool.
Information on this band is really, I almost wonder if their management company doesn't want them or is reluctant to have them go international. I think the band is ready, but for whatever reason, they seem to be promoting it more locally in Korea than Rolling Quartz did. Rolling Quartz, you could tell they were hungry. They wanted to be an international band, and they're doing a great job. They're going to have a great year this year. From that perspective, finding information on the members, finding information on the band, finding information about anything has been a bit elusive. So I'm going to go through some stuff here real quick, and give you some information, download a little information so you know about the band before we listen to this video, because you already did the reaction for Not Enough. So
it was not enough. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. I need more.
Should be a 10-minute song, right?
Yeah, it really should.
Anyway, so basically the band was formed in 2018 in August. Their first release was an album called Rock On. The original bass player left the band. Her name was Tina, and she was replaced by a young lady by the name of On B, and she spells it big O, little N, capital B. So I'm not quite sure, like you trying to pronounce the band name, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but I did my best.
Let's not talk about that.
Well, at least I know it's not an acronym, so there's that. On B joined in April of 2021. It's really unknown when Tina left the band, so that's not publicized. And like I say, their first album was released in 2018, and then you don't get into singles being released until 2021. So I don't know if that's got more to do with COVID or just inactivity. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a little while. It's funny because when you see the band advertised, you'll see some posters and stuff in the video. They're typically advertised with metal. And I'm talking metal bands from Korea. The funny part is, if you look at anything that Rolling Quartz does, they're typically advertised or talked about with K-pop. So
right,
there's definitely a difference there, right? And you've seen that happen with those girls as well. So they'll be on K-pop shows or whatever. These girls they're not that.
I will say too, just from listening to the two bands, like, for sure, Ja Young from Rolling Quartz has much more of a K-pop sounding voice.
Yeah.
But the incredible thing is Sena has an incredible voice, and she could totally sing K-pop songs. Like, I'm sure a lot of people hear her voice, they're like, why isn't she just doing K-pop? She could be like massively successful.
She's got a rock voice though.
But she does have a rock voice too, and she does it so well. That's all I want to say. Her voice is absolutely incredible. It is so perfect for the music. So it's just really funny how you're saying, yeah, Rolling Quartz, they advertise with K-pop bands.
Yeah.
But they're not metal, but like, damn, they are rock.
Well, they play with metal bands. Like I say, if you look at any of the club posters or anything, when they're paired up with different bands, I wondered out loud why this band was not included in Badass Unis, which is a group of 4 bands that features Rolling Quartz, Uni, spelled UNI, and one other band that they're paired with. And for whatever reason, even though they're on the same label, DIH was not included. And I think that's part of the reason why I think they diverge in terms of different audiences, I guess. And that's maybe part of what the label is trying to do in terms of diversification, right? But the label is Mirrorball, and they actually have a lot of really great acts. The two punk acts that are there are No Brain and Crying Nut. So you've probably heard of both of those bands, right? I know I have.
No.
No, you're not a punkhead. Just like a number of other bands that we know, this band does a lot of covers, so you'll find a lot of that on their channel as well, right? Just like Nemophila, right? They kind of remind me of them in terms of the way that they tried to market themselves and get started. By the way, you asked about the band members. Sena is the lead singer and the lead guitarist. Yujin, who is actually one of my favorites, you'll see her advertised as Pang, P-A-N-G, on certain platforms. That's the name she goes by on, I think, Twitter, but I know her that way on Instagram as well. I don't know why, but her name is Yujin. And I actually asked my wife to read her name in Korean, and that's what she said. So I'm like, okay, I'm all right. Esther is the drummer. And that's easy to remember because it's such an odd name in English, right? In America, I don't know too many Esthers. So that for whatever reason, that stuck out to me. And then the bassist, again, her name is Anbi. That's how I pronounce it. She might punch me in the face if she heard me say that, but that's the only way I can figure it out.
At least you remember their names. I'm so bad with names. I'm just like, I feel so bad that I was like, I love the vocalist so much and I can't remember her name. Sena.
I'll help you out. Don't worry.
I'm going to have to remember it now because now I'm on film and I'm like, oh God.
Their first album, again, Rock On, it came out in 2018, like I said, in August, and it was sort of a mishmash. So if you think of Made in Japan, Bandmade, this was a similar album where it had a bunch of different songs. There was only one really heavy song on it, and it only contained 5 tracks. So from that perspective, they were kind of feeling their way out, right? I mean, just in terms of the sound that they wanted. Which is funny because anytime you hear Sena, she's always singing rock. But they had a song called Roller Coaster. They published about a year ago, just after they were trying to get back into being a band, I guess, if you will. And it's not anything I would typically listen to. So you can go listen to it for yourself, but it's a bit of a softer type of songs, a bit of a slower pace, right? So it's not something I would typically seek out. I listened to it a couple of times, but it's not my wheelhouse. The funny part is sometime between 2018 and 2021, I saw footage of Sena on a reality show, and she was there by herself. Yeah, kind of weird. So from that point of view, I don't know what was happening with the band. Again, I don't know if there was COVID involved or something else that was going on that caused them to do other things, right? So in between those times, they seem to be kind of inactive, and the information is really difficult to find. Not Enough was released on 11/18 of 2022, so it's not that old, right? It's only a few months old. And then Breakout, the song we're going to talk about today, was released on 2/24 in February, almost a year ago, right? But in 2022. And the only thing that's on the official channel, there's a teaser. And then there's audio only with an album cover, and that's it. There is an official music video. I don't think it was ever released in the United States. It's on some YouTube channel run by some person named Polanco, and it's got 23,000 views, which was part of the reason I was kind of reluctant to do this. However, it's just mostly footage of the band playing, and it really doesn't have anything to do, the other footage doesn't have anything to do with the song, so I was kind of confused by that. So I thought, well, what the heck, we'll do it. The band has already announced early this year, late December for January, that they were going to take the first half of 2023 to work on personal skills. And I take that to mean they're going to be writing and recording. So hopefully we'll get a new album or something really, really good from them in 2023. Just a couple of details about the girls themselves. Esther, who's the drummer, is written about to be the most popular, which to me seems a little strange because Sena is obviously takes a lot of the spotlight from the show. But if you watch them and if you follow them and you pay any attention to them, Esther is probably the cutest of the 4 girls, at least in my estimation. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. She used to have long pink hair, and you'll see that in the video as well. But she's since had it cropped short, and she's kind of a tomboy. I've seen a couple of videos of her skateboarding and doing some other things. So from that perspective, we'll also talk a little bit about goofy drummers because there's another goofy drummer we follow. So that'll come up in the video as well. Anbi is the bass player, and it is so tough to find anything about her. She's very similar to another bass player that we all know and love. And you saw some of her shenanigans in the video we reviewed this week. So from that perspective, expect to see more from her. Kino was not bad, but I like Anbi as a bassist. She's quite good. Yujin is multi-talented. She raps in their cover of Bang Bang, which is really good, and does a lot of other things that kind of hold the band together. So from that point of view, I like her a lot. I'm a big Yujin fan.
The old glue that holds the band together.
Yeah, does that sound familiar?
That sounds familiar. What are we watching again? Now I'm getting.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I almost wore my bandmate shirt.
I mean, I'm wearing a bandmate hat
and a PinD shirt, so you can't beat that. Lastly, Sena is obviously the leader, and she actually there was a solo show that was billed for her even in January this year. So, which I think is kind of, a little strange. I don't know what was going on, but at the same time, from my perspective, she was on that reality show by herself as well. The girls are obviously operating as a band, as a single unit. So from that point of view, they just released a video yesterday, a live video of them playing Burn, right?
Oh, wow.
The old Deep Purple song, but it's actually a Whitesnake cover. People came on and said, it's not a Whitesnake song, it's a Deep Purple song. I'm like, well, Whitesnake actually has a cover of that, and David Coverdale, never mind. Just leave them alone. It's fine the way it is.
Right.
So anyways, that's kind of just an overview of the band. As much detail as I can give you. I am no expert. So most of what I found on the internet, unfortunately. And like I say, there's not a lot of information or even pictures available. So I was hard pressed to get this done. So I scrapped the old video and actually had to recycle a lot of the pictures that I used. So the old video will probably never see the light of day, even after they re-release the song. So,
wow, that's crazy.
Enjoy what you got.
Well, of course I'm going to. After checking out that first song that you sent me, I mean, bro, I've been dying to see this new one. As everybody knows, I'm always late to the party, and PinD sent me that one weeks ago. And it was just one of those things. I was like, okay, when I get a chance and we have time to get everything together, I'll try and do it right before, because this is the worst. The suspense when you know that something is so good and you want to see what's next is the hardest part. So I'm like, I held off on that because I didn't know anything about it. So it was no problem for me. Then I finally checked it out and I was like, damn, we need to get this. Like, are you almost done with that video? When we doing this? And here we are. It's like a week or two later. I mean, I saw some emails back and forth, obviously, but I don't ever check anything out. I always try to go into everything blind. And here we are. So I am excited.
Well, I intentionally kept you in the dark on this one and didn't copy you on a lot of stuff. Again, it was a collaboration between Gary, myself, and Fremen. Again, like we did the last video for 500,000 subs. So
we are in for a treat then.
With us working together again. The only thing that I find kind of sort of disappointing is the fact that we actually worked on the other video and put this thing together starting 2 months ago. And I had to sit up last night and reassemble everything. So hopefully nobody gets mad at me and nobody clobbers me for flying by the seat of my pants and putting this together. But unless you have questions, we can get into the video. You always like to add something.
I always have to run my mouth for something, but I don't think I have really anything to add other than it is nice to see Gary and popping up here and there. I hear he's doing well. I try not to bug him too much myself. But I have seen him popping up in comments, so it's great. And I think it's just awesome to have another project that he helped work on. So this is really cool. And Fremen, obviously, he's awesome person too. So once again, I find myself, I'm just I don't know how I get to do all this cool stuff with all these cool people, but here I am. I don't even have to work on anything. I just have to sit back and enjoy, I guess my work comes after I have to edit myself to make me sound.
Well, you got to look pretty and you got to talk. So that's your job.
I got a lot of editing to do. Okay, and without further ado, this is the song we're checking out. So I will let you formally introduce this, PinD.
Well, the name of the song is Breakout. It's the song that Sena asked us to work on and help promote. It's one of the 2 new songs that they have come out with since they've kind of reformed and started to relaunch the band in 2021. This song was released in September of that year, on the 24th, actually. So from that point of view, it's relatively new. It's probably one of the newest tracks I've ever done. And I wouldn't have pulled it myself, but because I would have imagined I got into trouble. But since the band asked us to do it, this is what we did.
That is the coolest thing that I think I've ever been a part of myself. So you heard it here. This is DIH with the new song Breakout. Let's help them break out into the US market. Let's go. I gotta stop it. I was trying not to stop it because like, oh, bass. Okay, so here's what I love, right? Is I personally love when bands, artists, things like that use like vocal effects, right?
Mhm.
But it has to be, this is the perfect like scenario here. You have a vocalist who can sing. She doesn't need vocal effects. However, using them to enhance the songs, that is so good. So we get a little bit of the vocal effect in the first part of the song, and then she gets rid of it because again, she does not need any fixing up on her voice. But it's when you use tools like that to enhance things, it's just so good. I love it. I love vocal effects. They can do so much for a song, and then when you can swap them out and just go back to your natural voice, you're like, yeah, she don't even need it. She's just showing off now.
It's an effect, so she uses it for effect. Actually, exactly. I'm fairly certain all of these girls can sing. I know I've seen Esther sing. I know I've seen I've heard Anbi do backing vocals, and I've definitely heard Yujin sing. So from that perspective, I think they're all actually wonderful vocalists. But yeah, Sena is the superstar.
That is really cool, actually. I love when bands have like backing vocals as well. It's super cool. It just shows how talented they are, and that's really cool. So far, the song too, really great. A lot of awesome bass lines in there, like I gotta say. So overall, so far, very, very good. Really, well,
there's a lot of layers in this song, and that's created by, again, it's amazing to hear a 4-piece have that many layers in a song. So that's, to me, what I found the most amazing about this.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the other thing too, right? Like the guitar is very, very good. Like the lead guitar, and it's like, but you're singing. Like what? How you do this?
Yeah.
For me, that's something that always blows my mind, because just trying to learn guitar, and I'm just like, now you want me to sing while doing this? Are you high?
Yeah.
So that's just extra talent there. Just super good. So let's get back into this, because we got a lot more to check out. what just happened? I'm thinking, okay, we're getting into a breakdown, and I'm feeling it. So I'm ready to start going for it. I'm feeling it, right? And no, this isn't a breakdown. This is actually a guitar solo. You
Yeah.
thought it was done. No, we're actually still going. Like bro, it was so good. And then at one point we're taking off like a rocket ship. That animation, by the way, was so perfect. I'm just like, oh my God, this is absolutely just incredible. I loved every bit of that. That was so good. Just I'm kind of at a loss for words, and that doesn't happen very often because I can't keep my mouth shut. This is one of those times that was just absolutely incredible. There was a lot of like little pauses in that whole section too, so it was really cool. Even though it's still going and you're still like trying to guess when's it going to stop, you finally get a stop and you think, okay, now we're going back to regular song. No, it's still going. So like it just keeps you guessing, and I love that. It's so entertaining, just so well done. What can I say?
One of the things that you can actually see on their version of the video is that whole end part, all the solo, is actually all done on guitar. From my point of view, it's nonstop, or it's unstoppable, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
At the same time, you couldn't just cut pictures on the beat. This was an incredibly difficult video to put together in terms of all the cuts and the construction because of that. So from that point of view, it was fun to put together. Again, I typically have a lot of fun on my videos. Make extra work for myself, right? But at the same time, like I say, the music kind of demanded that's what I do. So that's what I did.
Jesus, dude. Yeah, that was something.
All right, so on to some timestamps here in the video so we can talk about some of the photos. Let's go to timestamp 03. That's the first piece of Gary art. Gary actually did this for me prior to him visiting the hospital. So this is prior to, this was sometime in December. So from that point of view, there's two more pieces in the video, and he did both of those post hospital visit. So he was actually on the mend when he sent those to me. So I was very appreciative that he was able to do that for me.
Such a good piece of artwork as always. Anytime I think of Gary artwork, I always think of all the colors, especially the purples, which is my favorite. So
yep.
I think it's why I like his artwork so much. All the purple. I'm like, classy.
Well, again, there's so much purple and green in this one. I'm not sure I think maybe he thought the girls were invisible. Let's go on to timestamp 23. Remember we talked earlier about goofy drummers?
Yeah.
So here's your goofy drummer. No one else in the band would do that. So from that point of view, that's the drummer for the group just kind of acting herself, right? So I've heard it written or seen it written that she's the most popular band member, and I think it's got partly to do with the fact that she's as cute as she is and that she's kind of a tomboy. So from that perspective, that's Esther.
I mean, she might be pretty popular, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I seem to have my favorite. It is.
I know where your bias is.
It's actually kind of funny though, because that almost looks like Snoopy. Like if you took Snoopy and stretched him out.
I think you're extending to the other band we follow. That's probably not a good idea. Anyways, let's move on to 33, because I was kind of surprised about this. Look at the bottom of this. Look at the year. This is supposedly before the band was founded. So they were obviously a thing before 2018, which is what all the records say in terms of when the band started. But I think they were playing together as a group or had something going on before that. So this is back in 2017.
Maybe, they was just trying things out, seeing if they can make it work. And they're like, yeah. They came together, played some shows. They're like, yeah, we got this.
Could be.
They clearly have it. So
yeah. They're the band is the band and the music are ready. So I'm hoping the label and everyone else is. All right.
I hope the world's ready.
Yeah, for sure. So go to timestamp 38, just a couple seconds down the way. I was surprised to see this because Sena does not like the band being referred to as a girl group, right? But at the very top, it says female rock band. I'm not sure exactly what they had to give her to be able to publish this, but I think she just wants to be known as a rock band, which is certainly fair considering the level of talent that they play with.
That's actually really interesting because it seems like a lot of other bands out there like kind of really use like the girl rock band or female fronted rock band, things like that, maybe to their advantage. So to have them being like, no, we're just a rock band, and then you hear them, you're like, yeah, that's true, you are a rock band.
Somebody in the marketing department probably got the crap kicked out of them afterwards, but this was the poster. Let's go to 41. This is the second piece of Gary art that Gary sent me, and I had to laugh a couple of times. First of all, Yujin is apparently a bandmate fan because she's got her Mincha
Yeah.
And then if you look really closely, Sena has an armband on her left shoulder, and it's got my logo on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So Gary sent it to me. He said, you can barely see it. I said, no, now that you've told me, I can certainly tell what that is. So from that perspective, it made me laugh. Again, it's Gary's attempt to interject humor into just about any picture he sends me. So
true. He's always got something hidden somewhere. You can always look for something. It's always like an I Spy game, you know?
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is he buries his signature in every picture that he makes. And sometimes I can find them and other times I can't. So
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And I'm not exactly sure where this one is signed, but I know it is.
That's really cool. I didn't actually know that.
Yep. Let's go on to timestamp 48.
Ah.
Yes.
That is a very, very short, because I was on 48 before and it was like, nah, I must have been on 48 and a half.
It's something like that. Yeah. Like I say, it's only on the screen for about a half a second. And again, this is, I call this Goofy Drummer number 2, right? If you were to imagine all the girls in many groups, right? Who's the first person in the group who's going to jump in the luggage cart and go for a ride?
True.
It's always the drummer.
They're used to sitting down, you know?
That's very true. Very true. But yeah, again, it always makes me laugh, some of the stuff that they get into. And I've got a shot of the other band we follow, Bandmade, actually riding the luggage carousel in the airport. I have no idea where they were, but I always thought that was funny. But yeah, this only Esther would probably do this in the airport.
That's pretty funny.
All right, let's go to 51 because you had it before. So I always wonder how some of these girls eat all this extravagant food. There's always shots of them, in a restaurant eating. Here we are eating a big sucker. How do they stay so skinny? That's what I want to know. But if you look really closely, Yujin is not actually eating the sucker. She's just posing with it.
There you go. That's the secret. But then again, I feel like when I smell food, I just gain weight. So I don't know. I don't know how much of a secret that is. I don't know. It's not working for me. I mean, I think I put on a pound just looking at that. So
I was going to say, I can look at pictures of food and gain weight. So.
Exactly. I don't know what's up with that.
Anyway, yeah, that always intrigues me. Like I say, all the bands, all the Asian girls that we follow, they're also skinny, and I don't get it because they're always eating.
True. That's
all right.
Man. They've unlocked the secrets to life. I don't know.
Apparently. Go to 110. This was the only picture when we went from the first video to the second that kind of disappointed me. I had a perfect placement for this in the old video. And this one, while I think it works here, it's not as perfect. So it was the only real disappointment for me, but it's still kind of cool. And it's a funny picture only because Yujin is helping out here in terms of trying to make the shot. So it's one of my favorite shots in the video itself.
It really is a good photo, though, for sure. That's one of those ones you like double take when you see it. You're like, wait, what?
She had it perfectly placed. Yeah, it's a great photo. All right, so let's go to 115. There was a series of photos that came out to promote this particular video. There's a couple of them that I've thrown in here, and of course, this is Esther. I threw this one in, and then there's the one with Yujin and her sucker was part of that promo shoot, I guess, if you will, and then this one as well. So from that point of view, there were a couple of photos that were used specifically to promote this video, and those were them. I'm not exactly sure they're the most fitting. I kind of like the photos I picked out to do the video, but what do I know? So, anyways,
I like the colors. The colors are nice.
Esther is always pictured with a lot of colors, and we'll take a look at that again here in just a short bit, but it's funny. And her hair is always a different color. So from that point of view, you can stick her in those photos and they always end up being colorful anyways, just because it's Esther.
True.
All right. So let's go to 127. This is probably my favorite photo in the entire collage. It makes me imagine being out on a Friday or a Saturday night, having fun with the band, I look down at the end of the bar at on B, and the look on her face just makes me chuckle. So I can imagine the girls would be a lot of fun out on a Friday or Saturday night.
I mean, maybe she just likes snow globes
That could be.
or Christmas. I don't know.
I don't know how that ended up on the bar. That's kind
right.
of
That's the first thing I noticed is I see her staring at that thing.
So maybe she's wondering, where did this snow globe come from? I'm not sure.
So why the hell is this here?
All right, go down to 153. All right, so we talked a little bit about Esther in the center. There she is with pink hair, and look at her drumsticks and her drum and the cord for, I don't know what that is around her neck, right? But all of her pictures are always so full of color. But then if you look to the left, that's Sena, and somehow she broke into your house and stole your guitar.
I know, man. Jeez, what is up with that?
That's that gray PRS that you said.
Man, I know. I love that guitar. It's such a great guitar. I want it so bad. I can't justify spending the money.
Well, then if you look to the right and you look at Yujin's shirt, it says back to the old school. So I think a lot of their music reflects that. And that's one of the things that attracts me to this band. Go to 206. I Want to Ride.
Yeah, this one made me laugh for sure when it popped up in the video. This one here, that another double take. You're like, wait, what are they writing?
I don't know whether they're motorized or foot push or how they're propelled, but at the same time, that just looks like fun. So from my perspective, yeah, you've got a tiger here. I don't know what the heck that is over on the other side, whether that's a dog or an elephant, but it's definitely a southbound view of a northbound animal. So
oh my gosh, yeah, no, this is a good one for sure. It's definitely, it makes you wonder, like, what is this and where is this and why is this?
it's like just some kind of carnival that they put up with all the, the tent and everything else. Who knows though? It could be some kind of permanent structure. I'm not sure, but yeah, it just looks like fun. I want to go for a ride.
Just like bumper cars in the background. I think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Again, like I say, it's some kind of carnival or something. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but the girls are definitely dressed for summer. So
yeah, true.
I don't know. Looks like fun.
It does.
Let's go to 216 and I'll tell you a story. Okay. This one's kind of near and dear to my heart. When I lived in South Korea, Itaewon is the foreigner shopping district. I can't believe the girls played there. I would so love to go back and visit some of the clubs there. I mean, when I lived there was the early 90s. So from my point of view, there wasn't a lot of music. There wasn't a huge music scene there at the time. At least it didn't seem like it. A lot of the music that was there were cover bands or people that were singing American music. So there was not an opportunity to see a lot of stuff like this, but Itaewon was definitely a cool place to visit. You could go and buy just about anything you wanted. Prices were great. Quality was good. There is another shopping district that's right next door that I was not allowed to go to until I met my wife, called Namdaemun. And Namdaemun is the Korean shopping district. And if you go there and try to speak English, they'll bunk you in the head with whatever they happen to have handy.
Oh, wow. Oh,
I had some little old lady come up to me at the time. I had a mustache and start yelling at me and putting her finger in my face. And I'm like, turned to my wife and I said, "What's the problem?" She says she doesn't like your mustache.
Oh my God, dude, that's crazy. Man, you got to have an escort to go there, huh? You got to be like, no,
yeah.
I'm here with her. Oh, that's pretty cool though. Yeah, it'd be great to see them here. I'm assuming it's a relatively smaller venue, maybe.
The Pet Sounds Pub I've seen in a lot of different ads for different bands that are in Korea. So I don't know and there's a couple of shots I think in this video of them playing at that venue. So okay. I'm not aware of it. It wasn't there when I was there, but I would definitely go and check it out if I had an opportunity. That would be cool.
Yeah, especially if they're playing.
Yeah,
sure.
No kidding. So bump up to 230. This is Sena standing in front of probably what is the only Mincho Mania drum set I've ever seen. And this was the third piece of Gary art that he sent me. So from that point of view, again, I think the girls disappear to him with all the purple and the green guitar. I'm not exactly sure what he could see. Maybe he thought he was sending me a black and white.
That's true. That's so true. But here's what I find interesting. That PRS, even though it's a PRS, that green color reminds me of the green attic tone.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, I don't know. Was that done on purpose? I don't, You
It
never
is.
know with Gary.
It's a very similar shade, that's for sure. So yeah, I have no idea what he was doing or what he was watching prior to making this piece of art, but at the same time, yeah, it very well could be. That's funny.
It's really cool though, because it really does make the guitar stand out too.
Yeah. Yep.
That's another reason I have questions like, because that's the first thing I think of. Even though it's clear it's a PRS, he highlighted like the birds on the neck of the guitar and everything, right?
Yeah. We can
But
tell by the
it's like,
headstock shape as well, right?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I don't know, man. The first thing when I think of that green, at least in that sense of things, I think of that attic tone.
Yeah. And it would be interesting to hear Akane play drums for Sena.
Yeah. True.
Anyways, bump up to 253. Yeah, so Fremen, that bastard, used the new DIH logo, and I used the old one at the end of the video. But this was the I told him I said, look, I got two animations in here from you, one at the beginning and one sort of in the middle. Can you send me something for the end? Just a quick snippet. And he says, yeah, sure, I got this handy. Will this work? I said, yeah, it's perfect. So he put this together and sent this thing over to me. And like I say, he's using the new logo that I probably should have used, but I actually like the old logo better. So
I personally like the newer one better, but you know, that's just me. But I will say, this was so perfect for this song. Like the whole part of that song right there, I was like, what's happening? We're taking off like on a rocket ship or something, like spaceship going into space, and this is like, that's what I thought in my head. So it's so funny. So if he came out with this, like he already had this made,
yeah,
like,
I think so. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So anyway, yeah, all that, the sounds in this part of the video are all done on guitar. So as crazy as that sounds, but you can see it on the DIH version of the video where the girls are actually playing the music on guitars, even though it sounds way distorted, right?
That's some crazy amount of effects and pedals going on, bro. Like,
I know. Sounds like you stepped on a cat. Anyways, go to 306. You just don't see this here, right? Here they are doing a poster signing. It looks like it's at some bar or restaurant or something that they were playing at. So it's obviously an intimate venue. I'd love to pick up a signed poster by DIH. That would be awesome.
sure. Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, they're all just around the same table too.
Yep.
Like, what, bro? Like, that's the craziest thing. Yeah, you never see anything like that, especially here.
Yeah, you don't get access because everything is so dangerous here, right? Nobody wants to put themselves at risk, and I don't blame them. But at the same time, things are different there. So
yeah,
you know, you can do stuff.
Sucks.
Yeah, it does. Anyways, I'm going to give you two timestamps, and we're going to go to them kind of consecutively. First, go to 311, and then wander off to 317. All right, so the first shot was in the first video with all their merch. This one here, I didn't put in the first video because, as you can see, the shirt on the right was actually made for this song. So gotcha. I couldn't very well put it in the previous video, but I happened upon it again as I was going through pictures and photos, right? And said, oh, you know what? That's perfect. So I put it in here. And if you look at the prices, like what is it? The seventh thing down is free. I want to know what was free. Give me one.
Yeah, bro, give me two of them.
I'll take two. So anyways, yeah, like I say, this is the merch table at some place they were playing, I'm assuming. So, and I still want a DIH shirt like the one on the left. I posted on their Facebook and said, where do I get one? And nobody ever answered me. So,
oh man, you got to keep posting.
I was kind of
do this. Here's what you do every day: post, and then by the time you get to the 100th day 100 of asking where I can get this, it's gonna happen.
Eventually somebody will get back to me, maybe with a police car or something.
They'll be impressed, man. I do like the merch though. Like, I really like the Let's Play breakout shirt. That's really cool. Yeah. I don't even have like a use for a lighter really too, and I'm like, yeah, let me get some of them lighters.
Well, people stick them up in the air and wave them around at concerts, right?
True.
Let's go to 318. And if you follow any Korean bands, look at the stage. You'll know that Badass Unis just happened with Rolling Quartz, Walking After You, the band that's mentioned there, The Fix, and Uni. So from that point of view, I have no idea when or where, whether the band Walking After You was on before or after, but it's interesting that the girls are playing on a stage that's labeled for another band. And then I think you noticed the amp in the background as well.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I noticed. I'm like, damn, dude. First off, I love orange amps. Second, I'm like, yo, who's all on that amp? How can I trade mine for that one? Mine's a little bit smaller, but yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's the
It'd be
same
okay.
brand. It's cool. Yeah, nobody would notice.
Anyways, there's a lot of cool stuff at this bar, wherever it is they're at. So anyways, one last one, we'll go to 351. And this is the old logo that I chose to use because I like it better. So for the credit screen, that's what I picked out. Put the song name at the bottom. Gave Fremen and Gary some credit here, and that's the end. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But this was a lot of fun to put together. All the photos of the girls to collect them and stick them together in a folder and put them in a video here was a good time.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, it's a great song too. It's a great band, and it's really nice too because this is a band that most people haven't heard of. So this is like one of their first introductions to it. So you can kind of get a sense of the actual people behind the music, right? And that's why I love these photo collages, because it just helps you think of them more as people as opposed to I don't know if you want to say like rock stars or something, celebrities. Like I don't know, they're just normal people having a good time, and that's kind of stuff that I like to see. You know, I always feel like when you see the band members, stuff like that, look like they genuinely like to be with each other, have a good time. It makes you have a good time when you see it. So,
well, it gives you more of a personal connection to the girls as well, right? So from that point of view, it makes you feel like you know a little something more about them than just watching a music video and having them play instruments, right? So from that perspective, that's the intent that I always put these things together with.
Yeah, I mean, it works, at least for me. I don't know how other people feel. Let us know down below what you feel about it. But that's how I look at it. It's really cool to see the side of people that you don't really see very often, especially with a band like this, right? I still don't know how you found all these photos, how you do it, but there's some stuff in here that nobody would ever see without these photo collages. So that's one thing that I think is really cool about them.
Well, like I say, it was a lot of fun. It's always fun to work with Fremen. It's always great fun to work with Gary, especially as we got him through his health depression there between December and January. So I hope it gave him something to do and kept his mind off of things that were maybe not so pleasant. So from that point of view, that was the intent with some of this as well. So it helped everybody all the way around.
Awesome. That's what it's all about, helping everybody, you know. And hopefully this helps, this lovely band as well. Everybody should check them out. They're fantastic. Admittedly, I've only heard a couple songs, but that's all you need to hear to know they're the real deal.
So we're going to let Dog here premiere this thing and put it out on his channel. I'll put the raw video on my channel, maybe a short time afterward, so that everybody has access to that as well. And then we'll both try to provide some links here to the band that are useful and fruitful in terms of socials and different things. So.
Perfect. So as always, check out the original video when PinD posts it, because then you don't have to listen to me talking. However, after you check that out and you're done with it, if you want what I like to call the director's cut with commentary, this is the one to come to. I figure that's the best way I can describe these things. You know? Emphasis on the with commentary.
Right. Pretty soon we're going to have to do an outtakes version or something with all the stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor.
Oh, Jesus. It sounds like a lot of work. I don't know.
Not any work for me at all.
Yes. Isn't that lovely? Then again, you already did your work.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Anyways,
all right. Well, anything else you would like to say before we wrap it up right here?
No, that wraps it up for me, other than just, go check out the band, show them some love. Check out some of the other videos. This is a newer one. There's some older stuff. You can really dig through a lot of stuff that shows the girls individually on YouTube. Sena's got her own YouTube channel. So there's a lot of stuff out there to discover, I guess, if you will, if you want to dig through it, get into these girls.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up right here then. So I'd just like to say thank you all so much for stopping by. We definitely hope you enjoyed this one for sure. It was a lot of fun for me to check out, because I didn't have to do anything. So it was great for me to check out. Now my job starts now with the editing. I was going to say
all the hard work afterwards, the thankless stuff, right? So
yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so that's going to be enough here. And we hope you all be safe. Take care. Rock on. And I guess we will talk to you again real soon whenever PinD comes up with another project.
We're working on it.
Ooh. I didn't even know that. Thanks so much for stopping by, everyone. Take care. Ciao, mate.